Hello there, and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. Welcome to our channel. If you learned something new, please click the like button, please subscribe, please enable notifications. That would mean a lot to me. That really helps out the YouTube algorithm. Now, folks, I've been seeing a lot of comments on our channel essentially asking for the best way to spend the stimulus checks. Now, let me be as clear as I can. If you need money to buy food, to pay rent, to be able to keep the lights on, it goes without saying that should be the first thing you do with your stimulus check. This video is for when you have money left over after you satisfy those important needs, because we all need to do that. I believe that there are three things. My advice to you is there are three things you should do with your stimulus check if you have leftover money. And I believe that if you really pay attention, if you really try and do these three things, I believe it will definitely at least help some people out there. Let's start with the first way. The first thing is, I believe you should use the money for self education. You should use that money and essentially do a training course, maybe buy a book, get an audio book, do whatever it takes to expand your knowledge, to enhance your knowledge about a subject that you feel you need to improve your knowledge on. It could be learning how to invest. It could be learning exactly how to improve work on a new skill that you have. You may want to develop a brand new skill that you've always wanted to do. Let's say you wanted to be someone who, I don't know, let's say you wanted to be a handyman. I'm just throwing out an example out there, a handyman or a handy woman. Let's say you wanted to be a professional painter, let's say you wanted to be a professional artist. Invest in some education, whether it's a video course, whether it's a book, whether it's an audible program, an audio book. Maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's watching certain YouTube videos. Go ahead and take the time to invest in yourself and self-educate yourself, because I believe the number one investment you can make is going to be in yourself. Keep in mind that when I create these YouTube videos, I have to be completely honest with you, I create the YouTube videos for our community. And when I started the channel, it was just a little pet project of mine, but now it's become a full-fledged business. When I create these videos, in a sense, to be completely honest, I'm investing in myself, because I have to be extremely educated in order to be able to present you with important news, whether it's current news on stimulus checks, on money, or whether it's trying to give you this kind of insight based on my own life experiences. So when you invest in yourself, when you self-educate, you're now in a position to do better for yourself and make better decisions for yourself. And more importantly, you're now in a position to educate others. If you invest in yourself and you get better at whatever it is that you do, it could be e-commerce, it could be, like I said, you could be a handyman, handy woman. Again, just examples I'm coming up with. You may want to be an artist. If you invest in yourself, you're now able to build a career around that, and maybe even educate, maybe even provide motivation to other people. So the first aspect is essentially investing in yourself. Comment below and let me know if you've been using money, or if you plan on using some of your money on investing in yourself. I see a common mistake, which is that individuals directly invest into the stock market without investing in their own education on how to value a company, how to trade options, before spending time. It could be on YouTube. Folks, there are phenomenal channels on YouTube teaching you how to value stocks, how to do options trading. There's tons and tons of free information available on YouTube, but I encourage you to invest in yourself. And by the way, if this means that you have to, again, purchase books, purchase audio books, or sign up for online courses, you should do that, because the number one investment you can make is in yourself. Speaking of investments, please click the like button. It's almost like your investment in me. You're not paying anything to watch these videos. All I ask is you please click the like button, please subscribe, please enable notifications. That would mean a lot to me. So again, the first thing is investing in yourself. The second, and this is super important, and this is boring, but it matters. Simply save the money. Yes, you heard that right. Simply save the money. Now, folks, I want to be as clear as I can. I want every single viewer and subscriber to have enough money to last 6 months with no income. Now, in case you're thinking, oh, that's impossible, you're nuts, I want you to know that I completely understand if you're struggling to save and if you haven't been able to save money. I completely understand that. That makes a whole lot of sense. My point simply is this: if you can work your way to a point where you have enough money set aside for 6 months or more, then you can start to be financially free. Then you can get to a point where you say, you know what, yeah, I'm getting there. So I want you to save money. If you're getting the stimulus check, save money and get to a point where you can become financially independent. Because trust me, when you have money set aside and when you know that, hey, you can go 6 months without a single paycheck, and that's a minimum benchmark, hopefully it should be longer. But if you can go 6 months without a paycheck, you're not going to be dependent on stimulus checks. You're not going to be dependent on unemployment benefits. I want you to be financially free. I know you can be financially free, but you have to be able to put yourself in a position where you can be financially free. Things don't allow things to happen to you. Make things happen so that you are less dependent on stimulus checks, less dependent on the economy. This is extremely important. And the third thing, let me get to the third factor, which is extremely important, which is crucial, absolutely crucial when it comes to your future and when it comes to what you should do with the stimulus checks. The third thing that I recommend is that you simply find ways to compound money, whether it's investing in certain stocks, whether it's investing in real estate, whatever it is that you choose to do. I want you to be able to find ways to compound your money. And the way you do this, if you invest in the stock market, is you've got to be able to find stocks that you believe in at a good price. There are many courses out there. Let me know in the comment section below if you want me to recommend a course. But you need to be able to value stocks and you need to be able to have a clear method and a clear thesis on why you invest in a company. Because I promise you, there will be a day when that company goes straight down. And it is on those days that your thesis, your logic, your rationale to invest in the company will help you. And it's not going to make you go, oh my God, I need to sell right now. Because I don't want you to be an emotional investor, folks. I want you to be a strategic investor. Investing is all about being as strategic as possible, is about going through the down phases so that you can enjoy the good phases. And investing is about the long term. I want our viewers and subscribers to know that fundamentally, even if you make mistakes in investing, as long as you have enough time to ride it out, you can ride it out. Because at the end of the day, pretty much whatever you do, if you stick with it for a long time, and if the asset that you purchased yields a return, whether it's a stock dividend or stock appreciation as companies make more and more money, or real estate. I buy a lot of real estate because the rental cash flow pays off the mortgage and then some. As long as you can invest in an asset, folks, this is important. As long as you can invest in an asset that continues to generate cash, effectively compounding your money, you'll find yourself in a situation where you'll never, ever be looking back again, because I want you to have your money compound for you. I want your money to work for you. I don't want you working for your money. This is a very important distinction between the poor and the rich, because the poor work for money and the rich have money work for them. I'm not saying this to be condescending or anything. I'm saying this to simply tell you a harsh reality that you haven't been told all your life. It's a reality that took me, I would imagine, more than 40 years to learn. I'm 42 years old. It was only recently that I came to the realization that money has to work for me as opposed to me working for money, because I grew up in a poor family in India, and in fact you can check out my story on our channel. I hope this was helpful. 3 things that I strongly recommend you do with your stimulus check. I strongly recommend that A, you invest in yourself, B, you start saving, and 3, you find ways to compound your money. I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Please click the like button, please subscribe, please enable notifications. That would mean a lot to me personally. I would really appreciate that, and that also helps out the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.